Hi, it's Nick on the 11th of September, starting a new theme of daily broadcasts for this week. And when I kind of tuned into what would be good to speak about this week, the idea of how we see ourselves came to mind. And it's such a big subject. And when I look at, I suppose I would say, what are the leverage points for me in my life? They've always come when I've seen myself in a better light. I'm sure you can relate to the idea of, the experience of having that sharp, harsh inner critic that's always having a go at us and telling us off and undermining us. I think all of us had that. So for me, the biggest breakthroughs or the biggest, just becoming at peace with myself come when I am able to see myself differently, when I don't see myself through the eyes of judgment, but when I'm able to see myself more through the eyes of love. Whether that's somebody else seeing me better than I see myself, or when I begin to see myself better than I have seen myself. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go with this week. It's going to be interesting for me because this isn't a subject I've particularly talked about before. And I really believe that it's so important to happiness, success, how we show up in the world, is what we tell ourselves about ourselves, how we see ourselves. In NLP, if you know NLP, they talk a lot about self-concepts. It's the self-concepts that we have, how we conceive of ourselves. Do we see ourselves as significant, as worthy, as valuable, as mattering? Or do we see ourselves as insignificant and unlovable and unworthy and all those things? And for most of us, it's probably a mixture of positive and negative self-concepts. So as I say, I'm not sure where I'm going with this week, but it feels like what I want to talk about. And I feel more the call these days to put myself on my edge rather than just kind of share ideas that are kind of well versed in a way. My kind of growth is to share ideas that I'm still formulating and still working out for myself. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week, when I share with you thoughts about changing the way that you see yourself, so you can see yourself in a better light. Okay, so that's the kind of groundwork for what I'm going to be showing this week, and I'll be back tomorrow with the first thought on it. So God bless. Have a good rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.